So hi everyone. So we're here today to talk about our semester-long partnership with QuikOrder Incorporated, which is a Chicago-based company that powers Pizza Hut's desktop and mobile website. So let me first start by asking, how many of you here have eaten pizza in the past month? Okay, well for those of you who raised your hand, which was a lot of you, you're not alone. So on any given day, Pizza Hut takes in about $8 million in digital sales, 2/3 of which comes from their mobile platforms. So it comes as no surprise that QuikOrder is seeking to provide exceptional user experience to Pizza Hut's mobile platforms. So our team first looked at a systematic overview of the current system, and as you can see here, users easily get lost in never-ending long scrolling pages, as well as the process by which they enter their address to find stores nearby is very clunky and inefficient, and actually spans a minimum of 6 clicks just to start customizing a pizza. So our team started our design process by conducting a very extensive user research phase. So this included 6 formal methods of user research, beginning with a comparative analysis where we looked at direct and indirect competitors in order to understand Pizza Hut's positioning and strengths and weaknesses. Then we launched a survey in order to understand customers' attitudes, behaviors, and preferences, as well as reviewed and coded 300 of Pizza Hut's mobile app reviews. Then we held a focus group, and this was in part to conduct a usability test of the current customization ordering site, as well as to have an open conversation about customer habits, as well as brainstorming ideas with avid pizza orderers. And then we further validated these findings with 14 user interviews that we conducted in and around campus locations. So from these findings, we distilled all of these data into 4 personas that sought to capture primarily our key customer pain points, which are that users cannot easily modify orders, they feel uncomfortable entering credit card information on mobile devices, and they really like all of the pizza customization options, but just not long scrolling pages.
So based on the user research, we started to work on the ideation step. The paper prototype is the first step before we actually generated the wireframes. Okay, there we go. So, sorry. So both of them laid a very solid foundation for our design. But also we know, a pizza website should be all about just food, rather than just an e-commerce website that happened to sell food. So with this in mind, we introduced this very compelling motion pictures for the header rather than the traditional still pictures stuff. And also, according to our client, we also found more than half of the transactions on the website were about just ordering pizza. So initially, we got this very innovative rotating pizza idea, where the user is able to customize the pizza simply by just dial the pizza edge. But unfortunately, during the preliminary usability test, we found this rotating thing is very confusing. So after several iterations, we just came up with another best practice. And the next, I'm going to show you guys how this works. As you can see here, the selected item here. Okay, this is a video. I'm sorry. Oops. The video doesn't work. Oh. Okay, so this is actually the interface we got back, and it's actually an animation, so we can show you after the presentation. I'm sorry about it. Another critical feature is the third-party payment. So based on our user research, we just found people feel uncomfortable about the, entering the credit card information on the mobile devices. And so we just use this third-party payment to make the payment much easier. And sometimes users have some hard time to split the orders if you want to share the bill with other friends. So the third-party payment is going to be so much convenient. And this is interaction that provides a holistic view of the entire design. And at last, just wrapping things up. So during the whole semester, we really learned a lot of stuff. But one particular thing we learned from this project is that how to collaborate with people. You know, we become very, very great friends. We spend 20 hours a week on this project, and we meet 3 times a week. And you know, last month I just got a job offer. They made this cake to celebrate. So I think this.
And on the celebration with the cake,
great.
your time
Thank
is
you
up.
so
Thank
much.
you very much. QuikOrder.
Okay.
As the judges ask questions, will my Fab 5 please come to the front of the room? Judges, questions?
My question is, can you say what you're about to say?
Oh, okay. It actually works.
Saved by the judge.
Can we show you what we're about to say?
Please do. Okay, you guys can.
Yeah, you can, it's still experiencing technical difficulty.
Could you explain what we were going to see? Because I'm still curious.
Oh, yeah, well, so basically what happens here is incorporating a lot of the findings that we did through our user research phase. We realized that, you know, a lot of these interactions are kind of like difficult, clunky, cumbersome to get through, so we tried to incorporate a lot of sliding actions, which is actually the design inspiration for our like creative idea of having kind of a dial that you could just dial through the toppings, but actually through a usability test that proved to be somewhat confusing to users. But we still wanted to implement a lot of those like native actions where you can just kind of swiftly move from item to item, page to page, also splitting that long scrolling page that you saw in the interaction map and it also isn't provided in the pamphlet. Splitting that customization page into little chunks so that it's not just like one page that if you want to get to the top you have to scroll and scroll and scroll, but easily navigate between step and step and step.
Did you find people getting stuck on any of those screens? Needing to move around or feeling like it's slow?
Oh, well, if we could actually just show you right now. Sorry for those in the audience that are missing this glorious.
Just to let the audience know, this is the judges' 5 minutes, and they're welcome to use it any way they would like.
So this is other system, and you can just
Turn a little bit.
sorry about it.
Okay, so the other question I had was you had recommended the use of third-party payment systems. Did you get a chance to push that to the client yet? I'm curious how they responded to that idea.
I believe that. Do you want to speak about this?
So you like using the Venmo and PayPal.
Okay, we gratefully thank our client which is there, Jane, which might stand up, let's say hi. Hi, Jane. Jane doesn't like, because the confidential problem, he doesn't mention like any open idea towards the like third-party issue, but he's pretty open to any ideas like open the channel of payments in this issue, which probably solve any question like the account and also like signing. So
I think that one of the big things is that Jim has been very encouraging this whole time for us to seek out new ideas, and that's something that we've definitely had our eye on, is like thinking of new critical features, new innovative features. So while a lot of our conversations with Jim, actually our last meeting was going over our wireframes with him, and a lot of that has been through the pizza customization process, and that will flow. We haven't had a chance to really talk in depth about some of the other features that we're thinking about that kind of circumvent that.
I have 2 questions. First is, can you say a little bit more about how you code your reviews?
Yeah, so this was a bit of an informal process, which was just going through review by review, and kind of doing what maybe like a script could do automatically, but picking out key like frustrations, sentiments, things like that, and then just tallying them up. And also, as you can see by some of the graphics that we provided, at least for the customer frustrations, they are also color-coded. So, you know, the ones being the most red are like kind of the most pressing, high-severity issues, whereas the ones going towards the green spectrum are kind of low severity, low priority cosmetic issues.
So it's only done by 1%?
We all reviewed some of them, and one person went through a bulk of them.
So my second question is, since you have multiple methods in this research, did you find any conflicting points?
Yes.
And how did you solve that?
So that was actually why we kind of ended up had such an extensive user research component, was because, you know, after the survey, we got some results saying that, you know, some things that we had generally thought we would expect to find that were then a little bit invalidated by our focus group, one of which being also that Jim can speak about, is that a lot of people, like Jim says, 2/3 of people order on their mobile phone, but we found that through our focus group, like 100% of the people who participated never ordered on their phone. They only order on their desktop, and we believe that's because the people we sought out were, you know, peers, colleagues, and so those people are often with laptops, doing homework, so that kind of explained that, but we wanted to go out and actually validate that with more user interviews, which we did, and then we found, speaking to maybe like a younger demographic of people being college students, that a lot of them do in fact order on their phones when they're like in groups of people, going out to parties late night, and don't necessarily have a laptop.